Stuart, the next one's for you. It's well known in the industry that you personally orchestrated implementation of world-leading integration solutions. You ran the integration piece for core banking. Beyond replacement of core, how important is the integration in an organization's digital or core transformation?
Okay. So firstly, what you're talking about there, we started on the journey almost 20 years ago. Okay, so what we did at the time was absolutely right. We had back-end systems that were COBOL, but not only COBOL, the logic was embedded behind screens. We had platforms built in 1954 on assembler with their own proprietary operating system sitting on top of pre-SNA. Okay, so as part of that, we had to integrate into these complex back-end systems and make them easily consumable for the consumers, which we did. That's what we did first. So we focused on getting a handful of really skilled engineers doing the hard lifting and making it easy to consume through web services. Fantastic. Right thing to do at the time. These days, when people talk about integration, I worry because for me it kind of invokes a feeling of monolithic or a hub and spoke architecture. And you'd have to hope that banks have moved a lot down the track, so it's not so hard to integrate to individual systems anymore. So integration per se is important, but it's a small part of what we do. So if you look at what the integration team was doing on core banking, very little of it was technical integration per se. It was understanding that we were moving from a batch to a real-time system, and that we were removing implicit controls that were there before because you had batch, and we had to then replace them with explicit controls. We got rid of end-of-day cash balancing in the branches. We had to do reconciliation of GL. So to me, integration isn't, it invokes a thinking of I'm integrating into MQ, okay? But integration isn't about that. It's about understanding end-to-end, okay? So I don't like the term because when people talk about integration, they think I'm building an interface into MQ, but that's not really integration. It's probably more solution architecture, understanding how things work end-to-end. As we move forward, why is it important? If you look at the banks are moving to more and more of a domain-style architecture where, what I mean by that is they'll section different parts of the business off and build domains or platforms. And in that model, they're free to do whatever they want in their own circle, in their own thing, but they need to have strong interfaces so people know how to interact with them. So that's important. But you still need to know end-to-end. And so lastly, what I will say is that a microservice is not a silver bullet. It will not solve your problems. A microservice in 5 years, 10 years' time, you'll have 10,000 of things flying around and you won't know how to manage them. And it will be the mess of the century. So integration is not around technical integration onto MQ. It is around understanding the end-to-end, having defined boundaries, and being able to plug and play different components into domain architecture.
Excellent. Thanks for that. I saw a lot of nodding heads agreeing with you there, Stuart.